All right, bingo. Here we go. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depends on where you guys are watching from today. But welcome to the One Funnel Away Challenge. My name is Dante Torelli. I'll be your host and coach as we move through these next transformational 30 days together. Hey, if you're new, please let me know in the chat. I believe I'm going to try and pronounce this correctly. Sayuri. I believe Sayuri's new. That's a new name and a new face. But if you're new, please let me know in the chat. I'd love to get to know you a little bit more. We have 30 days together. 30 days. That's a long timeline, especially if we look at the entrepreneur's timeline. So I am excited to be here as your host and coach. Again, my name is Dante Torelli. This is the One Funnel Away Challenge, where we do big things for big people. And I cannot wait to get to dive into your business, your customer, your offer, and help you bring it live. Get it out there into the world. Let's change the absolute world that we live in. This challenge has changed my life, and it's a pleasure for me to be able to be the coach on this challenge now as well. So I want to get right into it, gang. If there are any questions, here's how these trainings work. If you have questions, a rising tide raises all ships. So many challengers like to join these calls every single day. I actually think it's a great practice of intentionality. So many people like to join the calls every single day, regardless of whether they have questions or not. They want to leverage their colleagues, the successes they're having, the questions they're having, so we could hyper accelerate our success. So if you're here just to learn, observe, and watch, that is perfectly fine. You're in a right spot. But if you have questions, if you'd like to come up and have a conversation and ask those questions, all you have to do is raise your hand in Zoom. And let me say this before we get too far. There are no stupid questions. It's impossible for you to ask one. I promise I've already asked every single one out there. The only questions you have are things that you need to learn and know to get closer to your goals, your dreams, and your aspirations. So no such thing as a stupid question, only great questions from inquisitive minds. You guys feel free to ask me anything that you want. As we go through these 30 days, I do hope you'll note my enthusiasm and passion. It's a pleasure to get to be here every day. And I like for these to be very conversational style. I'm not a big fan of being a preacher on a pulpit, just speaking at you. Although sometimes it may feel like that when I get on a tangent. To be quite honest and fair, sometimes I can get on a pulpit, but I don't like it to be that way. I like it to be a conversation where we're learning and growing together. So if you have a question, please do make sure to raise your hand over these next 30 days. I hope you notice my passion and enthusiasm. And finally, I'm not your third grade teacher. When I ask you a question, I promise I'm not calling you up to the front of class so I can ask you a question I know you don't know the answer to, embarrass you in front of your classmates, so I can feel better about myself when I go home to my weird house and my weird cats. I promise I'm not that guy. I'm not here for me. I'm only here for you guys. So I'm excited to be here. I hope you feel the same. Look, Sayuri, hopefully I pronounced that right, does have a question. So let's hop over there. Baden has his hand up as well. If you guys have a question you would like to ask, please just make sure to raise your hand in Zoom. Zoom does change it up every week and makes it harder and harder to find that button though, don't they? So if you're having a hard time finding the raise hand button, at the bottom of your Zoom control bar will be a little heart that says react. Click that heart, then a pop-up shows up and there's a button that says raise hand. Click that little button, it'll raise your hand, and you'll get added to the list. All right, without further ado, let's hop over. Sayuri, am I pronouncing that right?
Yes. Yes, you
Ah,
are.
look at me. Grand Slam. Great to meet you. Is this the first time you're in OFA?
Yes, it's my first time, and I'm very excited to be a part of this community.
That's amazing. We're excited to have you. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
So, and by the way, my son just woke up from his nap, so we this is how we roll. He's gonna be
That's awesome. I have two of my own. How old is he?
he's 15 months.
Oh, wow, adorable and doing good. What a strong boy.
Thank you. So I am very excited because this Thursday I'm actually delivering my first webinar.
Yeah.
I already have the funnel built out, the email sequence. Like now I'm just like in the process of like promoting it and just bringing traffic to it. And as I am engaging in the process, there's like new questions that I'm trying to figure out. Like, okay, so like I'm doing the webinar Thursday. So Monday, I'm supposed to reset the whole webinar, like Russell says, and basically duplicate it. So like, really, how does that work? Am I duplicating the entire funnel again? Then am I setting Zoom as a recurring webinar because I noticed that it wasn't working out when I did it as a recurring webinar versus like weekly, like doing it a one-time thing. So I guess I wanted to cover like the little tiny things that come up to make sure that everything is actually running how it's supposed to be running. And then when it comes to like the tagging of the people, am I those people that run through the first round, am I also promoting the webinar to the same people again if they're on my email list the next time around? Or am I basically starting from scratch? So I guess like if you can kind of cover that, that will also be great.
Yes. Let's first talk about your list. How big is your list?
So right now I have about 700 people, but I have to say that they're cold.
Okay.
I basically like before I had him, I had a very rough pregnancy, so I was not as engaged as I wanted to be. So basically like now I am coming back in a new way. Now I have my program. I haven't built it out, so I'm basically like pre-selling it. And
Good.
I have no idea like how engaged they're gonna be. I did do the re subscriber reviver sequence and I had a lot. So I have, I'm trying to get them engaged and I had basically like an 11% open rate. So really I'm just trying to just get in the game. I don't really have much expectation of what's gonna come out of it. But I'm just really trying to figure out like, okay, how does this work week to week? Because I am committing to doing this every Thursday, but then I don't really know how that looks like as far as like, what I was mentioning before.
Okay, great question. So let's get to week first. You do not have to clone the entire funnel. You can
Okay.
just clone the registration page. You can
Okay.
make a new registration page, which is the first page in the funnel, and you can just reuse that each week. Like I think I can show you really quick. Yes, I can. Okay. And spotlight. Okay, can you see this okay?
Yes.
Beautiful. So this is not the right funnel, but it'll be a perfect example. Here is your funnel URL.
Okay.
When you send an email, you
Mhm.
send this URL in your email. Also, in the future, when you're running ads, you run your ads to this URL because they come from, like, let's say the ad is right here. They click the ad, they're taken into this URL, and then they enter into your funnel. So
Okay.
on your registration page, each week you can go to your registration page and clone the page.
Okay.
Just reuse that same page. You clone it, you add a new event to your new webinar each week. And you just remake this first page. So you never have to change the funnel URL. And the ads that you have running can continue to go to the same funnel where you just replace the registration page. So let's say you start running your ad this week. 4 weeks down the line, somebody clicks on your ad. They still get taken into your funnel URL and they go to that new registration page for that week with that week's event tied to it. Does that make sense?
Yes. So that essentially like the URL will always be the same. It's never going to be changing.
That's exactly right. Correct. If you remade a new funnel each week, then we
Okay.
would remake a new URL each week, and then we could make it the same URL and continue to repeat it, but you just don't have to. You clone the registration page, make a new event, and add that new event week after week.
Okay. Would have a new event on Zoom. Like you will set it up as recurring.
Yeah, you can just make new webinars. Make each webinar its own event. And then you tie each webinar to the event on your registration page. Oh no, you muted yourself. I can fix that, I think. There you go. You're good.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I'm duplicating the first page. And then
Yes.
what does that mean as far as like, how in the last email I'm supposed to do like a last call? the replay is gonna be gone. But then, am I taking down the page for them to buy the program, or essentially it's always gonna be up?
Great question. That page that you have your offer on, that page has a timer on it. And
Right.
that timer is tied to your event. So at 12 o'clock on Sunday night, the offer goes away. It does not go live. And if they go to your offer page, that resends them to the broadcast, to the registration page where they register for that week's email. Or you can just have the page always be up. You could also have that page redirect to a order form that always is up. But as we teach it, you do want to have it go away on Sunday because that's real urgency and scarcity. And that lets your customers know that when you say this goes away at 12, it actually goes away at 12. Like they believe what you're saying, it's not fake. So that's what I would do. On your offer page, have the timer redirect to the new webinar registration page. Sorry, you're still muted.
Sorry, so I would redirect that offer page to the new registration. Is that what you said?
That's right. Where they register for the new webinar and now they can go get back to that offer. So if they want to be savvy, they can still get it just the next week. But you stood by your word. That's true, real urgency and scarcity.
Okay, so can you show me how I can redirect the offer page to that new page?
Yes, absolutely. Let me go like this. I think I have one. Let me see here. Okay. Here's my order form page. We enter the editor. All right. Here we go. Okay, so here's our timer. Oops, let me get myself out of the way. Here is our timer. All we have to do is click timer, go to your countdown, and then you choose the end date and the end time, which for you will be 000 a.m. That's 12 o'clock midnight. And now our expire action, here's where it kicks in. You hit this drop down and it's redirect to URL. And then we just put in the URL of our order of whatever page we want to send them to. So, like, you could send them right to your order form page, or we can send them back to the new registration page for the new webinar of that week. So, once we have our timer and once we have our timer set, we can save those changes, and we're just going to go hop out. And let's say we want to send them to the registration page. Easy peasy. All we have to do is get the URL for this registration page. So, to find that, we can simply preview the page. We're going to click go to live page because right now in my URL, I have preview equals true. And we don't need that. So I can either remove it by deleting or just click go to live page. And now it removes it. Here's the URL of my registration page. So I copy that. Now we can hop back to our ClickFunnels account. Let's go back to our replay page and click into that timer. In my redirect URL, I just put the URL of the page I want to redirect them to, and bingo, rocking and rolling. I save the change. Now, when this timer is expired, they will hit the page, the timer's expired, and automatically redirects them wherever they need to go.
And just to confirm, Dante, the registration page is different than the funnel URL.
That's correct. Let me take you in here. You're absolutely right. So, this is my funnel URL. When customers click, okay, let me do it this way really quick just to show you. It'll make so much more sense. I'm going to split test and I'm going to duplicate. Okay, and let me just set my traffic slider to 50-50 traffic, like so. Okay, so just like that, I'm now enacting a split test. But customers over here, they click my ad, they click the description of my YouTube video, they click my email, right? However I share this with them, they click this URL. So they go from the ad to this URL, and then they enter my funnel, whatever my build is. So like right now, I'm running a split test. I just share this one URL. They click it, they enter in, and do whatever I have set up. So like if I remove this split test now, and I'm going to get rid of the right side. So now I just removed my split test, but I didn't change this URL. I didn't change anything. I made changes in the funnel. So by using this funnel URL, you direct traffic here, and then whatever you have set up in your funnel, that is what's they're actually gonna go through. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. So then I'm only sharing the funnel URL. I'm never having to share the opt-in URL, right?
Correct. You never have to share this, and you wouldn't want to, because in your case, you're going to keep cloning this page. You'll click three dots and clone the page. Then you can delete the old one. So this page will always change, and the URL can always change as well. Doesn't matter. You share this URL with them. So anything you change here in the build, they're not going to experience. You'll never break your ads. You'll never stop anything you're spending money on.
So let me ask you, what happens if I don't clone it and then I just go and change the date? Does anything change?
I don't think so.
Okay.
That's a great question that I actually need to double check on. Somebody else just asked me that yesterday. I think we can use the same page over and over, but let me double check on that and I'll get you an answer for tomorrow.
Okay, perfect.
Cool.
Thank you, Dante.
Yeah, you got it. Hey, I still want to talk about your list though. Your list, you said you got an 11% open rate.
Yes.
That's good. That beats the market. Something Trey loves to use as an example, which I really enjoy. The market being like, if you took $1,000 and put it in the S&P 500 or put it in a stock,
Right.
typical yields on that per year are 10%. So we want all of our metrics to be above 10%. And if we're doing that, we're
Right.
beating the market. That's amazing. It's huge. So your open rate is over that on a cold email list. Great job applying Subscriber Reviver. It's awesome. Of those 11% opens, did you have any registrants?
So what I did basically was just kind of like just engage the audience. In the
Uh-huh.
very last one, I told them I started my ask campaign, like send me what is the number one question that you have for this topic. So I did that and I had only one person send me back a question. So then what I did was, I don't know if Russell would approve of this, but basically like I just anticipated, like I just had some questions about what I think people would ask. And then I just send them like, whoa, I'm getting all those questions, but really I only got one. So just to
That's a
kind of,
marketer.
just to kind of like build some excitement. And then I promoted it and no one registered. So then I'm like, okay. So then I'm like, do I at this point I'm still doing the webinar.
Mm-hmm.
I still did it, but it was just to myself, just to kind of practice a presentation. And really, this is the week that I'm actually like focusing on promoting it because last week I was just kind of like building everything and I barely had much time to promote it.
So this week you're hitting the same list you emailed last week, correct?
Yes, because that's the only, I mean, that's the only subscriber base that I have. But I am gonna start doing the reels, like the daily reels that
Yes.
was in the traffic funnel, and just wondering like anything else that I should do to bring more traffic to it.
Yes. A great question. Go hit the list again this week
Okay.
and say, holy cow, last week's presentation, I could have never expected the amount of feedback. I didn't think all of you guys were going to join. It was incredible. We had an amazing time. And because it went so well and so many of you ended up missing it or didn't even remember to register, I've had so many emails come through of, can we please do this one more time? I want to see this live. So I'm doing it. This Thursday, we're going to go live one more time before I take this out to the mass market. Don't forget, don't forget to register. Click the button below. Make sure you don't miss it because I want to give you the special presentation because you are my special people, right? You're a marketer. I love it, Sayuri. Go ahead. Tell him it was amazing. Tell him it was incredible. Tell him the amount of feedback you received was unbelievable. And I'm so excited to do it again and share these secrets with you. Make sure to register down below.
Okay, great. So
Yep.
then when
Just
you said this is the last time, that means that I cannot open up the webinar to them anymore, right? Because
It's
then,
not that you can't, it's that you don't want to, right? Next month or the following month, you're going to do it again. You're going to say, gang, I've had so many people emailing me for the past 2 months wanting to watch this presentation again, and they want to watch it live and not just watch a replay. And I don't blame you. I love giving it as much as you guys love watching it. So this month, we're going to do it. Register down below. Right, you can keep every other month or so, you can re-engage that list, but once you do it for yourself, and once once you burn through the list, to be
right.
quite honest. After you do this twice, you're pretty much going to burn through your list. Let's then take it to the open market.
Okay.
Here's where you bring new customers in. Here's where you start getting more people subscribing to all of your channels and start building a movement. Then
Okay.
the next month or the following, then we can re-engage the list. But your list will have grown by then because you'll
Okay.
be doing your daily reels, your daily socials. You'll be doing all this stuff, growing that authority.
Okay, that's great. Awesome. I'm so glad that I got the VIP because I'm like I'm trying to figure out like how to really bring fresh blood to my list. So
Oh, okay. Do you know the game with webinars yet? Do you know the JV game?
so I watched the presentation for JV, but here's the thing. I feel like people are gonna want to see more social media content on my pages. So like I started my YouTube channel. I have 3 videos like that are gonna be going out between this Thursday next week, this week and next week. So
Mm.
before I start promoting my webinar to partners, I want to make sure that they see more momentum on my social media, right?
Kind of.
Okay.
Kind of. Your social media momentum is really going to fuel your list and it's going to be incredible. You know what JVs really want to see?
What?
Hey JV, my name's Sayuri. I have this presentation that is killing it. For the past 2 weeks, I've run this presentation and closed at 20%, 30%. It is absolutely dominating right now. And I'd love to do a JV partnership with you. If you have your list or your presence, you have this many people you can get in front of. If you promote my webinar and we get 30% of your people to show up, that would be this many people on the webinar. And if my webinar closes at the 20% it has been closing at, well, that means this much money's generated. And I would love to offer you a 40-60 split or a 50-50 split, because a lot of times 50-50 split, that's the same amount of money you would pay to Facebook to get all those people in there anyway. So you don't take on the risk of advertising. You don't take on the risk of spending all that money. You just offer them a 50-50 split. Now they're like, whoa, wait a minute. They could care less what your Instagram and your TikTok looks like. What they care about is, whoa, so Yuri has a webinar that's closing at 20% right now, and she'll give me a 50-50 split. So if I can get 30% of the people to show up and she sells at 20%, that would be this much money. And then I get half of that just for promoting her webinar. Sign me up. Absolutely. That's what they want to see.
Okay.
And that's
Okay.
really what we're doing right now, Sayuri.
Okay.
Crafting our webinar, tweaking our presentation, right? You didn't have anybody in the last one and you did it. You have no idea how proud I am of you. That's most people don't. Most people don't. And Russell was just doing I forgot why, but do you know Liz Benny?
Yeah. Well, I've seen her presentation.
Oh, okay. So did you hear her talking about the first webinar she did that 0 people showed up?
Hmm.
Yeah, and she
Hmm.
did it. And she did it. And this is the game. Sometimes we knock it out of the park first shot. Awesome, great. Sometimes we don't. And we have to stick to it. We have to be conscious business owners. We have to run the webinar formula. As we get more people to come in, we have to export the chat. We have to look at their questions. We have to see where we're not connecting the dots. And each week it gets better and better and better and better until we have a great webinar that converts at 20%. Now you have a real serious tool.
I mean, I noticed on my first webinar how hard it is to talk for 90 minutes. by 15 minutes, I'm already out of breath. I don't know how Russell does it.
Well, you can hear us as we're going.
So,
Oh, sweet boy. So you did amazing. I'm really proud of you for doing that first one. Most people, they would get halfway through and they would just turn it off and they would go away and not stick to it. But you stuck to it and you learned. And I bet you got a couple things that you could tweak right after doing it alone, right?
it was I feel like it was just worth it for me to kind of get the first one out of the way, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready for the next one.
Yes, couldn't agree more. You're absolutely right, Siri. You're right on track. You're perfect.
I'm gonna mute myself now. Let someone else talk. And then thank you so much, Dante. I appreciate your help.
You're more than welcome. Great to have you here, Siri. Welcome. All right, nice. Baden is next, and Jacqueline just had a great question. How many times a day can we meet live? You guys are in the 2 p.m. cohort, so we meet every single day, Monday to Friday at 2 p.m. Also, on Tuesday at 12 p.m., you can click the exact same link that we used today, Jacqueline. This link that you use today will be the same link you can use for the next 30 days. At 12 p.m. Eastern on a Tuesday, that's our ecom day. Tuesdays are reserved for ecom and ecom questions, but everybody can join. Tuesday, our track is championed. The ecom track is championed by Trey Llewellyn. So feel free to join in on all of the champion calls, whether it's your track or not. We just talk marketing and business on each track, and it's a great conversation to be a part of. So Tuesday at 12 p.m. is our ecom track with Trey Llewellyn. Friday at 12 p.m. is our expert track with Russell Brunson. So, aside from that, every day, aside from Tuesday and Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern, every single day you have these VIP calls at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And just in case you're trying to get your clock set up, it's currently 2:28 Eastern Standard Time. Great question. All right. And also, if anybody has any questions you would like to ask, please feel free to raise your hand in Zoom. At the very bottom of Zoom in the control bar, you'll see a heart that says react. Click that heart, then a pop-up shows up and you can raise your hand. Nice. I see Sarah's hand just went up. Hey, even if it's your first day, I know we had some people join in later on, but I need you guys to know it's a pleasure of my life to be here with you. Your questions are never a burden. I want to answer your questions, get you over hurdles, get you live and launched back to you can do big things. Awesome. Jacqueline, if you like that, we are going to have fun over these next 30 days. All right, let's roll over to Baden. Hey, Baden.
How we doing?
Amazing. Let's get back into it.
Sweet, sweet. So I also have my like ads up and everything too, so I don't know if I think I got like a 2.2 something click through rate right now too. So
Okay. Yeah, we can definitely look at our ad.
I don't know if what you with the copy and everything that you were mentioning, what makes more sense there.
I really want to look at your order form copy. Okay.
Okay. So I did the split test, right? So I took off well, I gotta take that off still maybe. But I took off the HRs, the logos, and then
Cool.
this one has it attached.
Awesome job, Baden.
And
Awesome
then
job with that.
I do have a question too. I know,
Sure.
so you mentioned doing the gifts. I just want to see if this is how I ran it. It's kind of like this.
Yeah, a little serpentine, as I call it, a zigzag. That's perfectly fine. Breaks up the minutia and the monotony. Absolutely.
So the issue is it kind of looks, when it goes to mobile, it kind of looks a little weird. It's like backed
Uh-huh.
up on each other. Does that make a difference, you think?
Uh,
You see how they're
yes.
like backed up?
Yes, it does, but we can make certain elements mobile and desktop only. And that's what we would do here.
Okay.
But also what you could do, Baden, is you could just remove the serpentine. I would probably do that first.
Just make it all like the same side.
Yeah, make it all one line, make it all the same size. That's converting. I see that convert every single day. I have past students that's converting for them every single day.
Okay.
I would just start with that. It'll have mobile line up perfectly, and then we can go from there.
Okay.
Cause like Baden, you haven't even seen anything about the 99 designs method yet, have you?
No.
Yeah, there's so much I'm going to share with you as we keep going here. And I'm about ready to because you've already proven that the sales can happen. What we're going to do in the very near future, Baden, is we're going to get a designer now to come into this funnel and they're going to make this look beautiful. Not only look beautiful, but they're going to make this look like $100 million brand.
That's what we need
Increase
to do.
more. Yes, we do. Once we start making sales, now it's time to make it look professional and perfect, like $100 million brand that people would be crazy not to use.
Okay. Yeah, honestly, that was one of my thoughts too, is that like it kind of just looks a little bit like, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't look as legit, and that's why people were trying to like get out and like click on the link and go to the website or something. I'm not sure, um but so do you want to look at this, or you said order page?
I want to go look at your order form. Yeah.
All right. Oh shoot.
It's okay. You can take me into any order form. They're both the same for you.
Yep.
Yep.
So over the weekend, I think I had 200 or 300 people view, and then 10 to 15 went to the actual order page.
Wow, that's great over the weekend as well. Man, the first thing I'm noticing is you have a hat in the image. This image is photoshopped, yes?
No, this is real.
Oh, that's real.
Yeah, we have a.
How'd you get the hat to sit above the grass like that and have the shadow coming off?
It's on a mount, and then I
Oh,
have
cool.
yeah, one of my cousins is a photographer, so he like did his professional stuff with it and took out. It was like a clear thing, so he took it out.
Oh, very cool. Man, I just have to wonder. The first split test I would have on this page is having an image of my ropes without a hat because you have to put the disclaimer down there, hat not included. It's a
Right.
it's a 3-pack of ropes only. I would just love to see it be a 3-pack of ropes.
Okay.
Yeah, like if you can have like the packaging that it comes in next to it and then the ropes displayed like on a desk, that'd be amazing. That's all we need. Something simple, but to show the ropes only the product that they are receiving. And scroll me up to the top here. Hat Rope logo, special offer. The Hat Rope USA pack is available with a 15% discount when you buy 3. I wouldn't even put when you buy 3. I would
Okay.
just say, and I don't even know if I'd have special offer here at this point, Baden.
Okay.
I think I would put the Hat Rope USA pack is available for a $15 discount here only. On my external sites, I'd be up in the price because I'm going to incentivize sales back here. I would literally have that instead.
So with that too, we're in a lot of channels, and we do like bulk and wholesale with other customers too. So I mean, uh, would it be fine just to like decrease this price even more and then discount it even more instead of like changing everything else?
Yes, you could.
We have
You
pretty
de-
good margins too, so we would
oh,
be able
you
to.
definitely could. Then I would make a wholesale page. I'd make a page for wholesalers that's different than your publicly displayed page on your site.
Yeah. Okay.
Because
You're
you're
saying
just
to still you're saying to still increase the price for everything else and then keep this as what I have right now.
Yes,
Okay.
100%. Just a little story as to how I saw this work out amazing recently. When Russell launched his book Traffic Secrets, his most recent book, he listed it on Amazon for like $78. But on his funnel, it was $9.97. And I don't think he made a single sale on Amazon. I'm sure he made a couple because people don't know how to buy things. But he literally used Amazon as a lever to get people to go back to his funnel. So he way overlisted there to incentivize and drive sales to his funnel. Because then he can hit them with his upsells. He could actually get them with OTOs there on the back end because it was his funnel where he owned the cart. There's massive, massive value to doing that.
Okay. All right,
You
makes
don't
sense.
you don't you don't have to worry about that right now though. If that's a big lift, Baden, if that's like a whole logistical complexity of how do we deal with wholesale, how you do it is you have a wholesalers page that only wholesalers go to, and it has wholesale prices listed. And
We
what
have
most
that too.
Oh yeah, beautiful. Most people then have wholesalers call them for inquiries. That way they don't have wholesaler pricing listed so their customers can see. Um, this is a low price point product though, so I doubt your customers are really going to be like, "Well, if I go wholesale and register my business, can I get it for a discount?" I don't think you'll have to deal with that, but just in case,
Yeah. It's
having
more of the we deal with like some bigger businesses too that like license it, and there's like specific pricing requirements for minimums and stuff like that too. So
yeah, good,
that's the only thing that I'm like thinking about, but I can figure that out and
sure. What kind of licensing do you have going on so far?
just licensing the product, the actual the ropes themselves with some other companies. So
Like to like sports teams?
other company like other custom hat businesses, stuff like that.
Oh, nice. Good stuff, Baden.
Yeah.
Great job, man. Okay. Yeah, so without tweaking that at all, without messing with any of the great stuff you've already set up, if you could stand to decrease price here a little bit, that'd be awesome. But just knowing your customers went and looked at the website and then went and bought over there, um, I would be trying to incentivize sales here by having a lower standard price, and then if they buy three, running V curve, then it's an unreal savings, and they'd be silly to buy it anywhere else.
Okay. No, yeah, I can do that.
Cool.
So then
Um,
I guess with that, would I put, because in a sense, I mean, I can run these at like 50% off and still be, we can still do good on margins. Would I promote that they are 50% off, and how would I, like if you're a customer and you see 50% off, but there's not like a line going through original price or something like that, how, I guess to show the customers that it is 50% off without just showing it on the headline to where they don't have to leave and go like do the price check, stuff like that. How would I promote, like how would I show that here?
Great question, Baden. Inside of your product settings, you have a compare at price point that you can make. It's
Okay.
compare at. And that's an easy way that you could put the listing on your website, whatever price that is. And then that shows the comparable price. And then if people do go be buyers and they do go check your website, they'll see that compare at price on your website. And it's like, oh, easy, no brainer.
Okay. And then so if I do the 50% off, still keep the 2.25. Well, I could mess with those numbers, but do just still do the 2.25 even with the discounted. Okay, cool.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Last thing that I'm seeing here is number two, select quantity, or yes, select quantity. We should change that text up to say claim discount.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Cool. Aside from this, it looks fantastic, man. I'd love to see your first split test be taking them to a page that doesn't have the hat in the image. I just feel like that would display so much confusion.
Yeah, maybe that's because that's like it's honestly like a weird product to photo, and it's like how do you we've been going back and forth with that, but I'll definitely get something at least up. I guess with that, do I change anything on the sales page because everything has a hat in it too?
Technically, yes, we would. Uh, you can have some like in your section on the sales page that says like where you can use it. There you could try and implement some different pictures. Like you could put it on a hat and you could put it on different styles of hats. But technically speaking, we only want to show the product that we're selling,
So like this,
especially, yes, especially in these hero images. Because again, confusion enters the mind, right? They might be like, "Wow, that looks really cool on that hat, but I have a different style hat. So would it look cool on my style hat?" And then if you don't have their style hat in the images, then they're like, well, I'm not sure if this would look good or not on mine. And then they just don't buy because a confused mind always says no. You're doing great in getting sales, and you got those sales with images of hats. So the next things I would be split testing is having images without the hats in them.
so like every image that I possibly.
Correct.
Good
Let's go
then.
run through it
So,
really quick. It would
okay,
be this image.
that
It
and
would,
that.
yep, that. The what is it? That now we're doubling up images. Now we
Yeah,
have
I
the
kind of
same
ran out, and
image.
I wanted to get it launched, and I was like, let's just do it and see what happens.
Nothing wrong with that, Baden. I tell you to do that a million times over. Don't slow down. Launch, get data. Let our customers tell us what they're thinking. You did perfect, brother. Yeah, here is where you could maybe you could show a hat for the first time because now this is how it works, right? Step one, pick your hat, or maybe would step one be pick your leash or pick your rope, right? I think that's the first thing. Or it's just simple.
So I could
You're
swap these two essentially right here.
right, exactly, Baden,
Okay.
exactly. Let's keep going down the funnel, or take your note, take your time.
Yep. Same
What
photo.
makes the hat rope the best accessory? And in this image, it's really hard for me to even see the ropes. My eye
Yeah.
is so drawn to the hat.
Yeah.
Yep, let's keep going.
And it's the same photo as that in this thing.
Yep, claim your USA pack today. Man, I want to see a USA pack in packaging with an American flag on it or the outline of America filled in with the red, white, and blues.
Okay.
Yep.
And that's pretty much that's it.
What people are yeah, beautiful, man. That's what we want, and we can split test these as we go as you make those images. By the way, ChatGPT is amazing. If you upload an image of your three ropes and then tell it to act as your producer or act as your videographer or act as your image creator, it'll have great ideas. Even if you just brainstorm, you can say, hey, I'm having a really hard time coming up with good ways that I could shoot this image without a hat. Help me brainstorm. It's great at that.
Okay. All right.
Nice.
And then when I do should I take off this logo too with this current split test I'm doing?
Great question. You can leave that there. This is why I was saying the logo at the top is really not super important on these advertorial pages. So that's why I'm very confident with you taking your logo off, no problem, because you'll always have it down at the bottom. And customers are very accustomed to going down to the footers if they're ever looking for logos.
Okay. And then one other thing for like the privacy policy and all that for like
Yeah.
legality, do I have to have that down here for like somewhere that from like see that?
Great question. I am not a lawyer. I don't give legal advice. Nothing I say here is legally binding, and I do not represent ClickFunnels. I only speak under my own authority of Dante Torelli. Having said that, you do want to have a privacy policy and a terms and conditions.
Okay.
ChatGPT can make both of those for you. Really quick, let me get you this page.
We
It is,
have them on our site already. I didn't know if I needed to add them here.
oh, amazing. Yes.
Okay.
I definitely recommend you do that. For anybody else who might.
And then do I just create like a new page and then like link it or something or?
Baden, you're a genius, man. Geez, dude, slow down. I'm going to lose my job. You're killing it. Absolutely. That's exactly what we do. You just make them as standalone pages and then you hyperlink them right there to your text.
And then I do that within, so I do that within ClickFunnels, correct? Or do I?
You
Okay.
do it right within ClickFunnels. You could link to an external, but I'd be curious about the design and layout and colors and all. You can control all of this inside of ClickFunnels. I would make it right here so it looks exactly like your funnels. Congruency is always very important.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I didn't know if like I have them on a website, like link it to the website, but then it probably takes them there and then they.
Yeah, correct. And now I'm introducing the website and now they're searching and looking and we don't want that. You're right. Man,
Cool.
you're a genius, Baden. Here's how we can lock this in. It's very easy to do. Exit the editor, top left. Beautiful. So what you could go create standalone pages, right? And these would be like standalone site pages or standalone funnel. You could go do that. But how we've done it forever and still works beautifully. And I think at the start, it's really easy because you have everything in this funnel just right here. It's not like, oh, I have my funnel steps here, but my privacy stuff over here. It's just a really easy way to get started as you get more comfortable. Go to the very bottom of your funnel. Okay. How I like to teach this, Baden, is you control the customer journey through the use of buttons and redirects. Your sales page has a button on it, and that button is set to goes to next step. So when they click that, they go to the next step. Your order form has a button that's set to submit. When they use that button, it submits their order and sends them to the next step in the funnel, which is your upsell. On your upsell, they click yes or no. Both of those buttons take them to the order confirmation. And on the order confirmation, you have no buttons linking them to any other steps in the funnel. From your order confirmation, you're probably linking them to your social media so they can follow you or any other places you want to send them. But you control the customer journey through the use of buttons and redirects. On your order confirmation, you don't put any buttons. So any page past your confirmation is essentially hidden to customers. Does that make sense?
It does.
Nice. After your confirmation, add 2 blank pages. Make your let me see really quick. Let me try something. Click add. Yeah, and then page top right. And I want you to search privacy at the top. Okay, search terms. Okay, cool. So we don't have a layout for that perfectly yet, not a template, but you can just do new page in the top right, build one from scratch. It's so simple. It's a headline that says privacy policy, and then that's it. You're done. Yep. Nice. Bingo. Now that page has a URL, and you can hyperlink to the footer of all your other steps. Same thing with
Okay, so
privacy.
I don't have to do anything with this end funnel being down here or nothing. That's just, it knows that the confirmation page is the end, right?
No, it doesn't know. You control the customer journey through the
Okay.
use of buttons and redirects. All of your buttons on a confirmation, like let's say you're going to run a 3-step confirmation, which would be the typical confirmation. At the very top, thanks them for doing the thing they did, then hits them with an order summary showing a summary of what they did. And then it would be like what to do next. Step 1, step 2, step 3. You've seen these before, right?
Yeah.
You control those buttons.
So if I don't add a,
Please.
sorry. And so if I don't add a button, essentially you're saying it won't do anything. All right,
My
cool.
man, because they can't go anywhere. You have full control of that. In a typical order confirmation setup, there's no buttons to go to the next step in the funnel. So it's
Cool.
impossible for them to get to that next step.
Makes total sense. Awesome.
Nice. Great. Okay. Hey, you want to go look at your ad, Baden?
Let's do it. Is it pulled up right now? I can't really see.
Yep, I got you.
All right, cool. Yeah, so this is what I ran. It does say preparing because I changed the URL yesterday because I honestly didn't know these Monday calls were a thing. And then I just rechanged it after we just met. So it says preparing now, but it did run over the weekend. And again, these were all sales from our website somehow.
Great job, man. Hey, do you know about incremental scaling on your ads?
I don't really, I mean, I understand what it means, but I don't really know if I have it set up or know how to set that up, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no worries. I have it here. Let me find this for you. Yes, here it is. All right. Let me put this in the chat. I just linked a YouTube video down below with a guy that I really like. I like what he's talking about and how he's talking about it. And he's really an ads guy. But he teaches incremental scaling, where your ad is going to scale up by 5% if it hits certain metrics, or down by 3% if it's not hitting those metrics. It does it all automatically, so you don't have to be watching so hard, and you can really focus on being a CEO. Because, excuse me, once we have an ad rocking and rolling, we don't really want to turn it off. That gives mixed signals to Facebook and the Pixel, and it's like, oh, it didn't work, and then, oh, we need to find new customers. So
Yeah, I probably messed it up.
No. I think you'll be okay. I think you're going to be perfectly fine here. It's just we learn these things and we change them for the future. So nice. Okay.
So
And
yeah,
impressions. We got in front of 7,800. Your CPM is 1734. What's the price of your product? What's the price of one?
19.99
Oh,
retail.
great. So your CPM, just starting out, your CPM is about the same price as one, which is typically what it's going to be. As awesome as the Facebook Pixel is, it's also a real pain in the butt because it lets Zuckerberg know exactly how much you can afford per customer, per sale. And he
Yeah.
really works it. So,
So I'm
uh,
curious too on that though, because our honestly all the orders, there's multiple units and so is it better to go off at the average cart value or the actual individual unit like that? Because we have two different we have single roasters are 9.99 and then a three pack which is 19.99. So is it better for average cart value? Because or yeah, I guess that was my question.
ACV, average cart value.
All right,
That's
cool.
what we're going off of. And that's the power of using a funnel. You're not just going off of the sale of one, and you also have your upsells that go along with it to increase the AOV, average order value.
Yep.
But here's the game. We want our CTA, cost to acquire, or CAC. If you watch Shark Tank, they all call it CAC now. That is CTA. They're just using somebody else's words for it instead of Russell's. But as long as my CTA, cost to acquire, is less than my ACV, average cart value, I'm making money always. So ACV is always the metric you want to look at.
Okay, cool.
Nice. 177 clicks. Nice. The CTR was 2. Okay.
So I mean
Okay.
I looked it up and it said 2 to 5. I mean, is that pretty
No, you're not bad. You're not bad. We can get above 5. We can definitely get above 5, Baden. But you're
sweet?
sitting around 2, and there's many companies that sit at 1 and do amazing. So I'm really happy with everything that I'm seeing here. Can we go look at the ad itself?
Yep, let's do it. So this was obviously the link I was changing, but I only got two primary texts. I had the ChatGPT do a few of them, and these two kind of seemed like the only ones that t for me. And then I did some of the different headlines, and yeah, this is again, I just ran it and was like, let's just see what happens. So I didn't.
Mm. Have you funnel hacked any apparel brands that sell either hats or ropes or something close?
I've done some of the bigger ones through like the ad library, um,
Nice.
and kind of got some ideas. Just honestly need to sit down and get some more time and then creating some of them. But yeah, I mean,
Yes.
I've
And
tried to.
well, it's such a worthwhile endeavor to do now because you've proven sales, you've proven the concept. Now it's time to dive in. Now it's really time to funnel hack. For instance, as I look at your emoji, as I look at your copy, it looks like long form. Well, your top one looks like kind of short form. Your bottom one looks like more long form. I don't see any emojis in it everywhere anywhere. I don't see any real letter spacing. I don't see any of the green check marks of this is for green check, green check, green check, green check, what you're going to get, green check, green check, green check. And these are things that I'm very accustomed to seeing when it comes to brands and their advertising. This is just text on a page right now, which
Okay.
is okay, but we can definitely tweak it. So when I talk funnel hacking, I'm not only looking at what they're saying, I'm more so looking at the formats that they have. So that comes to copy. Are they using long form or short form? Are they telling stories or selling offers? Are they using emojis or not using emojis? All these things are great. This is your bait, man. This is your bait. And I'm a fisherman. So I like to know exactly what fish I'm fishing for, and I like to know exactly what kind of fish my fish eats every single day. And that's what I'm throwing. Not something similar, not something close. It's in fishing, it's called matching the hatch. But I'm gonna throw exactly what my fish likes to eat. So now we just go find out what our fish is already eating. And we do this by funnel hacking that ads library, finding the big players and seeing what they're doing because they've already spent hundreds, if not millions, testing all this stuff out.
Okay.
Uh, and then the creative. Can you play those videos for me? Because like I know, uh-huh.
So we've been messing around with like creatives and all the different stuff, and this has honestly been the best performer for us. So we've just stuck with it. But
Nice,
honestly, we
simple.
we haven't done like crazy amounts of, we probably tested 10, 15 different things.
Uh-huh. Have you ever done okay, cool. And the other one's the same creative?
It's just, yeah, I'm only using one right now.
Okay, so and it looks like they were about the same as far as conversions go, yes?
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, I'm seeing like on the left one, I'm seeing 12 likes. If I annotate really quick, I'm just looking right here. Yeah, I'm just looking at the likes and the interaction that the post got. Yeah. Oh man. You know what I'm seeing? In my mind right now, I'm seeing you sitting at a restaurant finishing your meal and then yeah, okay, so I'll just say what I'm seeing in my mind and maybe it'll hopefully spark a direction. But let's showcase how simple and easy this tool is. So let's do it at dinner. Go to dinner, go sit down and then go say, maybe you finish your meal or maybe you start your meal. Go sit down and start your meal and your wife says, or your girlfriend, or just a girl that you pay to come sit next to you, or what? I don't care. But maybe a girl says, "Ooh, that hat is really bright right now." And then you say, "Oh, no worries." You take off the hat, you unclip them, you pull it out of your pocket, you grab a new one, you clip it on, you put it back. Is that better? Yeah, it's so much better. Right? Easy. It's just to show and emulate how simple it is. Or maybe like we can always make ads in the general things that we're doing in our life. So, like, I see you have red as a color. So I would go to a Braves game. And I would go to a Braves game and I'd be walking in and I'd be walking up and I'd have my blue strap on or my white strap on. And then as I'm walking in, you see these people make these ads all the time where the cameraman's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, Baden, you got the wrong strap." And you look at the camera. What? He goes, "You're wearing the blue, not the red." Oh, crazy. Thanks, man. Takes off the hat, clips off your rope, pulls a new one out, clips it on, put it on. All right, we Braves ready? Yeah. Okay, let's do it. Boom. Easy, simple. And that's really what you're trying to showcase in these ads because you have a simple product to
Right.
transform their look and feel. So more ads, more ideas showing the ease and simplicity. Right now we just have a white background, which is cool and stable and even, but man, if you can show people like around the town, getting out of their car to go on the date, whatever it is, ease of use.
Okay. Yep, will do.
Cool. And then funnel hack your competition. Let's go see. Is it long form, short form copy? Emojis, no emojis. What's their call to action? Which is a big thing, right? At the end of their copy, what are they saying? Click the link below to do what? Are they even saying click the link below? We want to model and emulate that. And then just start throwing your own creatives into it. Again,
Okay.
ChatGPT, man, act as my producer. And then
Okay.
go ahead and start prompting. It's so good.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, will do.
Sweet. I'm really happy with everything I'm seeing here though, man. This is incredible. Have you generated any follow-up sales yet off those people that went to your website?
Like the ones that I've bought or the ones that I've went without buying?
No, those 5 that went to the website and bought instead.
No, that's another thing I'm getting into is like the emails, trying to like set all those up and learn like what goes where and do all that. That's another whole task that needs to be done. So no, right
Right.
now we're pretty much getting sales and not really contacting our people afterwards, which is
Cool.
yeah.
No, that's okay. That's okay. And I'm curious about one last thing, Baden. Um, did you run a free plus shipping funnel at all, or was this all just to your advertorial?
No, so I did run a free plus shipping or
A
so I did
tripwire?
run a free plus shipping. I ran this.
Yeah, let's take a look.
So I did 2 free ropes. I actually got an order off this. I ran this for a few days and it was just
Mhm.
a pretty simple.
Same ad, same creative?
Yep, same ad, same creative, different headline. I just did different. The headline was 2 free. And it was just pretty simple. It was just literally like this. And then the OTO was just this. He didn't take the OTO, but he did do the free plus shipping. I haven't changed this from what we've talked about the other day too, about the colors and all that in the pictures, but because I
Yeah, and you noticed it. That felt so incongruent, didn't it?
yeah. I haven't I wasn't I fixed the other one first, the advertorial, because and then ran that and then haven't done this one yet.
Cool. Hey, no worries. Baden, you're doing amazing, man. You're testing, you're trying, you're not being scared, you're launching, you're getting results. I'd love to see you play with this. I'd love to see you play with this funnel as well. And then maybe let's run an ad to the free plus shipping, the tripwire funnel, and just see. Let's look at conversions. Let's see what's converting and performing the best. Because either way, whichever works, that's what we're going to have designed out. And that's what we're going to really pour our eggs into. And that's what we're going to start really running traffic to. So this is a great time that we're in right now. I'd love to see you clone your ad, make another of the exact same ad, same headline, same creative, same everything, and then run it to this free plus shipping. Let's let a couple hundred people go through this too and see what's working the best.
Okay. All right. Yep, we'll do.
Awesome.
Awesome. I appreciate all the help.
Yeah, no problem, man. I'm super proud of you. This is awesome. You're doing great. Do you have any other questions before I let you go?
No, that was awesome. Sorry for taking too much time there, but super helpful.
No apologies, man. I could sit here for hours, but this is perfect. Great stuff.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, I can stop your share for you. And it looks like Sayuri has another question. Let's get it knocked out. How can I help, Sayuri?
Oh, thank you, Dante.
Of
This is
course.
my first call, so I didn't know how detailed it could be. So I'm excited. So I wanted to ask you, I actually have okay, so I don't know if you actually can see all of this in the back, but
Yeah.
I can share my screen with you and share with you like I have conversation starters. So I am a marriage coach, and ever since I became a parent, raising little ones, I totally get how challenging it can be to like focus on your marriage when you have like little ones to raise and building a business and all of that. So the whole idea of my program is helping working parents to tag team through parenting, housework, and careers. So my husband has like a full-time job. I'm building my business and we're raising two kids and all of that. And I think it's very interesting, like basically integrating business principles into the home life and how that can actually create margin to create space for your marriage, for your kids, and all of that. So I was thinking, because I do have my first initial product is conversation starters. And if I can share my screen with you, I can kind of share what that looks like. Am I able to do that?
Oh, okay. Great question. It's actually 3 o'clock. Normally, Sayuri, normally I leave wiggle room, and normally these calls go well more than an hour. But today I have a full list of videos I have to shoot. So let's save that till tomorrow. I'll have more time tomorrow. And then yeah, this is VIP. This is VIP. We're getting deep here. Let's go do
Okay.
my goal for everybody. I want you guys to launch. That's where power comes from.
Okay.
So I'm here to help you launch and also dissect. Once we launch and once we start getting some data, let's make some data-driven decisions and we
Okay.
can move in the right directions. But I'll be more than happy to look at all that with you tomorrow, Sayuri.
But tomorrow at 12, you'll be back. We'll be
Oh,
back.
great question. Tomorrow, I will be on at 12 that everybody is welcome to with Trey Llewellyn.
Okay.
Tomorrow, though, being Tuesday, the 12 o'clock call is specific to e-commerce.
Okay.
Feel free to join. It's amazing conversations. It's awesome. But
Okay.
then tomorrow after 12, I'll be live again at 2 p.m. for your cohort. So tomorrow at 2, we can definitely drive into this.
Okay, perfect. Sounds great. Thank you so much.
Awesome. You got it. Great to have you here. Hey, gang, really quick, I put a link in the chat and I want to just show you what this is too. I did put that YouTube video, which will show you how to scale your ads incrementally. It's a great way to make sure we never have to turn our ads off. Turning ads off can confuse the algorithm. So we wanted, once we launch an ad, we want to let it ride or kill it, one of the two, right? So that's that YouTube video, but I also put a link in there, clickfunnels.com/business tools. And that's going to send you to this page where we have a ton of really great tools here, like QR code generators, image resizers. If you're trying to resize your images to fit perfectly on your funnel, we have a lot of great tools. We also have a privacy policy generator here. So this is a cool tool. If you go in here, fill out your information. Of course, it's not going to do that. Let me just see if I can fill in some fake stuff here. Okay. Okay, fill in your information and then send. Yeah, so this is just going to have to be. Let's try this. Click send. Okay, cool. And now check it out. It gives me my website privacy policy template. It has everything in here that I just filled out. Privacy policies are not a legally binding document. Terms and conditions are. But privacy policy is not. So we can generate this for you. And then you can go down to the very bottom and you're going to see a button to copy to clipboard. Check this out. I copy it to my clipboard. I'm going to go back to my funnel. Let's go add a new page. We click new page. I'm going to use top right, new page. I want a blank. This is going to be my privacy policy. Go ahead and create that page. Now I can hop into the editor. I'm going to add a new section, blank section, one column row, add to it a paragraph. Hop in here, paste. There we go. Paste. And just like that, I created my privacy policy. So just like I was showing with Baden, how you create these as their own standalone steps at the end of the funnel that nobody gets to. It's really simple. We should all have our privacy policies up in like 10 minutes. Then your terms and conditions, you can have AI build those for you. If you want, you can also go to a company like LegalZoom, and I think LegalZoom is making terms and conditions for like $17 right now. That price may have changed. I haven't checked in years because of AI, but feel free to use AI for your terms and conditions. Do whatever you want. That just remember that is a legally binding document that you want to make sure is right. Your privacy policy is not as important. But again, that link is in the chat for everybody. It is clickfunnels.com/business tools. Great tools on there for everybody as well. And as we build more tools, we add them to that page. So make sure not to lose track of that. But gang, what a happy Monday this was. To all of our new challengers, welcome. Jennifer and Jacqueline, I believe you are new as well. It is awesome to have you here. Tomorrow, please feel free to raise your hand, even if just to tell me a little bit about yourself and your business and your goals that you want to accomplish while here. Also, in your groups, in your private VIP group, I have a post up right now that is asking that exact same thing. I'd love to get to know you a little bit more so we can have an amazing 30 days here. And don't worry, most people get way more than 30 days. So I have tons I can share with you in the right time. Right now, for all of our new members, you're in Belief Week. I know Belief Week is like the easiest week in the world to skip, but please do not skip ours. Russell himself is going to give you and pour for you the proper belief. Your why is everything. The why that drives you, the why that keeps you going and pushing forward, the why that will make you do a webinar when nobody shows up. That why is everything. It is far more than our funnels, our copy. The why is what actually fuels us, and we are the most important part of our business. So it is just awesome to have you guys here. I'm excited for this 30 days. We're going to have a lot of fun, and we're going to do big things. So thank you guys for being here, a part of it. Remember, for tomorrow, coaching is available, or the session is available for everybody tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But that's going to be with Trey Llewellyn, our champion of the e-commerce track. So if anybody here is an e-commerce member, amazing, feel free to join in and you can get your questions answered by Trey Llewellyn himself. If you are not an e-commerce member, please feel free to still join in. Marketing is marketing is marketing is marketing. And we have amazing conversations, especially with Trey. Trey is awesome. You guys will learn more about him. Russell's amazing as well. I don't mean to say it that way, but you guys are just going to love all your champions, all your coaching. Feel free to join in on any. So for you all tomorrow, schedule, click the same link. I have it set up where this same link will do everything for you. Click that link at 12 p.m. Eastern. It's going to join you into the e-com session. If you're ecom, you can ask questions. If you're expert, just learn and observe. A rising tide raises all ships. Then, same exact link you used today, you can use that tomorrow at 2 p.m., and that's going to be a general coaching session where I can answer any of your questions whatsoever. Cool, amazing. If you guys have questions as we go on, feel free to put those questions in the VIP group. I'll be happy to answer anything along the way. Just please also rest assured, I show up every single day for this daily coaching. I'm excited to be with you guys, and we're excited to have you here in the One Funnel Away Challenge. Have an amazing rest of your day. I will let you go for now. Catch you tomorrow. Night, guys.